Hello all, I hope you're doing well today. I don't know if like me you've wondered before that as our state becomes increasingly tyrannical, as Britain is undermined more and more, whether sections of the police force will think, hang on a minute, this isn't what I signed up to the force for. I'm British too, I love my country and I don't want to be a tyrant. I think we all know there's a certain type of police officer who definitely wouldn't think that. You know, maybe the ones who had a rough time at school or something and seem to revel in the authority. They're the type of cops our friends over in America who excel at sports and like gangster rap tend to struggle with. They tend to fight back and give them lip and so on. With these sorts of cops, I've always found it's best to say, yes officer, no officer, thank you officer, and you'll be on your way in 5 minutes. Yet aside from that, there are plenty of police officers who I've come across who are just perfectly nice people, seem like anybody else, just happen to be in the police force. And I've often thought the Starminator and the Liberal regime can't have driven their love of Britain and good from them fully. And as I say, I do wonder if some of these policemen are starting to find the absurdity of the situation they find themselves in. Here's an example recently where a police officer, almost embarrassingly, has to go around a man's house and tell him to be careful at a protest he might attend.
Hello, mate. You right?
Yeah, what's up?
Absolutely nothing, so don't panic. It's just a very quick one. I appreciate you're at work, but Warwickshire have asked me to come round and just basically, it's a load of bollocks, mate, but it's about this protest tomorrow in Warwickshire.
Yeah.
And just saying, obviously, that they're aware that you might be wanting to attend that planned protest, and obviously that's absolutely fine. You've got a freedom of speech, and that's no issues at all. And all they've asked me to do, mate, it sounds daft, so I apologise, and it's really woeful. It's not something I agree with, but I've been asked to do it. It's just to drop a leaflet about being involved in a protest. Actually, it sounds bad, but it is what it is.
Do me a favour. Take it back to them and
Yes,
write
mate.
back on it to them. Say, we will no longer be silenced and to himself. From me, with love. Cheers. Thanks very much.
With love.
Yeah, with love. Yeah.
Cheers,
Because
dude.
the silent majority of Britain will no longer stay silent. Tell them that. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Now, the first thing to say is, well done to this officer for approaching this in the right spirit. He seems to be someone who still believes in the tradition of English liberty. He's not so swallowed by the bureaucratic system, he'll just follow its tyrannical dictates. I dare say that's not the case with some of the more recent hires the police have made. However, the absurdity of all this is everyone involved can see what's going on. Even the policemen can see this is completely absurd and it's a total case of state overreach. I'm sure they've got some legal backing about protecting the peace, but what this is really about is intimidating the public into silence. And most importantly, how did the police even know that this guy intends to attend one of these protests? I mean, it looks like they're devoting time and resources, which remember is facilitated by our tax money, to track people online, and if they're attending a protest, go and give them a warning. Now, I could be wrong, maybe I don't have the details fully, but it looks like that's the case, and if so, it's just absolutely insane. And as I say, one has to wonder at what point do the good cops, the good authorities, say to themselves, well, hang on a minute, this isn't what I signed up for. Now, as I say, there'll always be the types that love the authority, the denizens of total bureaucracy that won't care whether they're just or unjust, but there are people who very much do. And I do think as things worsen across the UK and Europe, whether many of the authorities will start to lose faith in the institutions themselves. This is another dimension to watch as things decay and get ever more chaotic. Do let me know what you think about it down below though, and do consider subscribing to the channel if you're new.